In the peaceful American town of Pinna Valley, New York, lived a soft-spoken mechanic named Cole Henderson. At 38, Cole was the kind of man who fixed more than just engines, he mended hearts. Though no one knew it, his garage, tucked behind an old gas station, smelled of oil and memories. He rarely spoke, mostly nodding or offering short replies, but everyone respected him. People often said he had a gift for understanding broken things, especially things others had given up on. No one knew that behind his silence was a man who had lost deeply, and whose quiet life was about to change forever. One rainy Tuesday, Riley Evans, a young mother in her early 30s, rushed into Cole's garage, her minivan coughing smoke. Her 8-year-old daughter, Sophie, sat in the back, strapped into a wheelchair. Born with spinal cord damage, Sophie had never taken a step in her life. Riley, a waitress barely surviving on tips, pleaded for help. Cole looked at Sophie, then at her wheelchair, and quietly said, "Leave it here, I'll fix it." Riley's eyes filled with tears. Nobody had ever helped them without a price. But Cole simply turned and got to work. Cole fixed the van without charging a penny. But Sophie stayed in his mind long after they left. Her calm blue eyes reminded him of his late sister, Emily, who had also been bound to a wheelchair as a child. That night, Cole pulled an old box from beneath his workbench. Inside were blueprints for a small robotic Exosuit project he once pitched to a tech company. They'd laughed, calling it a dreamer's toy. But now, it wasn't about proving them wrong, it was about giving Sophie a chance. For the first time in years, Cole felt purpose again. For 3 weeks straight, Cole worked late into the night. He visited junkyards, salvaged parts, repurposed drone sensors, and reshaped metal with steady hands. He reprogrammed servo motors, tested joints on mannequins, and redesigned balance systems from scratch. His fingers bled, but he kept going. He even painted the suit purple, Sophie's favorite color, which Riley had once mentioned while chatting nervously in the garage. This wasn't just a machine. It was a gift, a risk, a miracle. But Cole wasn't afraid. He wasn't doing it for fame or money, just for one little girl who had never walked. When Riley returned for a quick checkup on her van, Cole hesitated before speaking. "I built something for Sophie," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Riley stared, speechless, as he pulled a cloth from the small, child-sized Exosuit. Sophie's eyes widened. She reached out and gently touched it. "Is it mine?" she asked softly. Cole nodded. In that moment, something powerful shifted. The garage didn't feel like a garage anymore. It felt like a place where hope had just taken root. Riley covered her mouth, fighting back tears. For the first time in years, Sophie smiled without sadness. 1 week later, sunlight poured into Cole's garage as Riley and Sophie arrived. The place smelled of grease, but today it felt sacred. Sophie's custom-built Exosuit stood ready, purple and humming faintly. Riley's hands trembled. "Is it safe?" she asked, eyes full of fear. Cole nodded, his voice gentle. "She won't fall, I promise." Sophie, smiling softly, stepped toward the device. It took Cole 10 slow minutes to secure her, in straps buckled, sensors aligned. Then he stepped back and let Sophie press the button herself. A low whir filled the room. Sophie's knees bent, then straightened. Riley gasped. Sophie was standing. Step by trembling step, Sophie moved forward across the oil-stained floor. Her balance wasn't perfect, but the suit adjusted gently. Riley watched, frozen, before falling to her knees. "You're walking, baby, you're walking," she cried, tears streaming down her face. Sophie laughed, a sound full of pure joy. Cole stood still, hands clenched, watching silently. Outside, a few neighbors who had peeked in out of curiosity began to cry too. Sophie kept walking, slow and determined, until she reached the garage's open door. There, on that threshold, her small feet paused. She looked back, smiled, and stepped into sunlight for the first time. The miracle couldn't be contained. Someone had recorded the moment on their phone. Within hours, the video had gone viral online. Reporters showed up. Articles were written. Medical companies offered Cole millions to buy the design. Investors flooded his inbox, but Cole refused them all. "I didn't build it to sell," he said quietly. "I built it for Sophie. If someone else needs it, I'll build them one too. But I won't put a price on a child's hope." The world admired his response, but Pinna Valley already knew. Cole wasn't after fame. He was just a man who fixed broken things, including lives. The garage soon transformed. Donations poured in from across the country. Volunteers arrived. Engineers offered to work for free. Cole's dusty old shop became something new, a place of invention, compassion, and quiet miracles. But Cole never changed. He still wore the same oil-stained overalls, still preferred working through the night. When asked about what drove him, he only said, "I couldn't help my sister. But maybe I can help someone else's." Sophie returned often, walking proudly now, each visit brighter than the last. She brought cookies, hugs, and drawings. One day, she handed him something he never forgot. It was a simple crayon sketch, a little girl, walking in a purple suit, beside a tall man holding a wrench. At the top, she had written, "My hero, the garage angel." Cole didn't say a word. But he pinned that paper above his workbench, right where he could see it every morning. He never spoke of it, never showed it off. But each time he looked at it, he smiled quietly and kept working. Because he knew somewhere, out there, another child was waiting to take their first step. And Cole Henderson, the quiet mechanic, was ready to build another miracle.